Hello, everyone. As I was lovely introduced, my name is Sidikman. I'm a music performance major here at NIU, and I'm here to talk to you today about reclaiming your body. And I'm here today because I started dieting when I was 12 years old. I remember what inspired me to start. I was on the bus on my way back from one of my very last days of 8th grade. And I'm sitting on the bus, and a girl gets off the bus, and she looks at me through the open window, and she shouts, "You're fat!" As if I wasn't already aware of that as an 8th grader. You can laugh. It's okay. It's funny. And so she gets off the bus, she shouts that, and then everybody else on the bus is laughing at me. And I was aware of what my body looked like. I was a bookish kid. I wasn't athletic. I was fine with that. But at that moment, I said to myself, I have to do what it takes to change this body. I can't be that fat kid anymore. Sorry. There we go. So as you see here, this is me as a kid. I was a chubby kid, like most kids. But my insecurities with my body didn't really begin until middle school. This happens with a lot of girls. We go to middle school, suddenly the hormones are raging, the pressure is higher, and our relationships with our bodies become more and more fraught. Here I am in elementary school. Whoop. There we go. Early high school. So from the ages of 12 to 17, I did everything I could in secret to lose weight. I started going for long walks. I started tracking everything I ate. Food became a dangerous obsession for me. Why did I do that? Because I felt that I had to lose weight to be accepted, to do everything that I wanted to do in my life. And so I brought my story here today because it's the type of eating disorder, you could call it that, eating disorder story that is so often hidden. I didn't struggle with anything that we learn about in school. It wasn't anorexia, it wasn't bulimia, it wasn't anything that had light shed on it for me growing up. So I came here today to talk about that. For me, food became a very dangerous pastime. I would think about it all the time. I would obsess over it. And that was because that I was taught that my relationship with food, no matter how damaging physically, mentally, spiritual it might be to my health, I was taught that my relationship with food had to be that way. And so I did whatever I could to lose weight. When I was 15, I went to the doctor. I went to the doctor just for a normal checkup. And I get on the scale in front of the nurse. And she looks at the scale and she goes, you could probably stand to lose about 40 or 50 pounds. Who says that to a 15-year-old girl? So understandably, I was pretty upset. I went into the pediatrician's office crying, and she said, "You don't have to lose 40 or 50 pounds, maybe just 10 or 20. So as you can imagine, that wasn't easy for me to hear. Everything became scary for me. Getting on the scale in gym class. Why do we still do that? I'm not entirely sure. It was terrifying. Going clothes shopping with my mother, hanging out with my friends who were smaller than I was. Everything was nerve-wracking for me. And it didn't help that at that point, my mother started working for Weight Watchers. When I was in high school, she went through the program. I'm really proud of her. She lost a lot of weight. But that wasn't easy for me because as I was growing, I saw her shrinking. And that didn't make me feel good about myself. I have to give my mother credit, though. She never encouraged me blatantly to lose weight. She wanted me to do what would make me happy, and she's always encouraged me to do that. But what I thought would make me happy was losing weight. I had been told that that would make me happy. that would get me cute clothes, that would get me a boyfriend, that would make me happy. So we move on to college. Now, when I came to college, I came in with the mentality that I could start fresh. You know, new place, I moved 2 hours away from home. Nobody I knew from high school was coming here to school with me. I could start fresh, and I could finally lose that weight. So I had been a vegetarian for several years, and when I came to college, I decided that I was going to be a vegan. Now, there's a reason that veganism is a mainstay in the disordered eating community. And that's because not only do you get to restrict what you eat in front of other people, you also get to maintain the moral high ground. You can say, I'm a vegan, and people will respect you for that. So while I told all my newfound friends I was doing this for activist reasons, I wasn't really. I hate to say it, but I really wasn't. I wanted an excuse to limit what I ate in front of other people, to hide what I ate in front of other people, to restrict myself in front of other people, and to show people, too, that I was actively trying. So not only did I become a vegan, I started running. And as you can see here, I ran a couple different races. I started out very, very slow, you know, on the treadmill, just something to do to get fit. And I became more and more obsessed with it. I pushed faster and faster, and I went on longer and longer runs. And as I did that, I began to ignore my body. Now, I'm proud of what I did with running. I ran 2 half marathons. Here's me at the Sycamore Pumpkin Run, which some of you might have been to. But I was trying to trick myself into believing my body was something that, frankly, it's not. You know, I kept running, and I got injured multiple times. I hurt my legs, I hurt my back, I would push myself, I would not take rest days, and I would feel that on days that I rested, I didn't deserve to eat. That was where food came into it with me. I thought that if I wasn't exercising, I didn't deserve to eat. And all this time, I'm still tracking everything I eat, right? And because I wasn't starving myself, I was eating 3 meals a day, I thought that there was nothing wrong with my relationship with food. That's what I figured. I wasn't starving myself, so I was fine. But the truth is that it was a bad place for me, you know? Nobody acknowledged that. Because the hard thing about this is that it worked. I did lose weight, you know? That's what happens when you exercise a lot and you don't eat as much as you should. You lose weight. And so people all around me were constantly complimenting me. People, my friends, my family, people I had known freshman and sophomore years were coming up to me and saying, "Oh, wow, you look great. You look so healthy." Well, how do they know I was healthy? People looked at me and saw thinner and assumed healthy. Everybody came up to me and said, "You look great. What are you doing?" And all I heard was, "Oh my gosh, I'm doing the right thing. This is what I need to be doing." And so that was a difficult place to be in. This is me now, as you can see. So what changed? I realized that I didn't want to be afraid anymore. I didn't want to live in that place of fear about food. I didn't want to sit in my room crying in the afternoon because I wanted to eat a snack, but I didn't think I should. That was where I was. Nobody knew, but that was where I was. And so I made the decision first to stop tracking what I ate. Deleted the app right off my phone. And then a couple months later, Apple comes out with an app, a health app, that is undeletable from your phone, that has calorie tracking on it. Exactly what I needed, right? But I didn't open it. I saw it online that it had calorie tracking in it. I looked at it, I moved it to the other side of my phone, I didn't open it. I was done with tracking food. I stopped running because I love running, but the place that it put me in mentally was just too hard to be in. And it worked. I stopped fearing eating. I stopped stressing about what I ate in front of other people. I stopped being a vegan probably about 1.5 years ago now. And I stopped stressing about what I ate, you know? I didn't cry over eating pizza. I didn't go to parties and think, how much am I gonna have to run tomorrow to undo this damage? You know, I began to realize that food isn't damage. And our relationships with our bodies don't have to be like that. And I found this community online, Body Positivity, which has completely changed my life. I began to read about different types of eating disorders, which I'll go over in a second, that aren't covered in schools. And I began to realize that you can have a disordered relationship with food and with your body without getting formally diagnosed. Because I was never formally diagnosed. And so seeing these women online who were able to have great jobs, have boyfriends, be in great relationships, love their bodies, wear cute clothes, that changed me. I was amazed to see that people could exist in their bodies and be happy about it. And so that's the place I'm working on getting to right now. I want to talk for a moment about a few of the hidden eating disorders, because that's why I brought my story here today, is because with everything I've fought through in order to learn to love my body, it's all been hidden. And so the first of them is called orthorexia. Mayo Clinic describes it as when healthy eating goes awry. It's often, now all these disorders are newer, and that's probably why we don't learn about them in schools. But orthorexia is an obsession with clean or healthy eating. It's when people are eating enough, but they are so obsessed with eating the right things that it becomes just as tangled in their brains. The next, compulsive exercise. And now this is often talked about in the terms of the triangle for women, which are eating disorders, compulsive exercise, and injury. And so WebMD says that experts believe that young women who exercise compulsively have more restrictive diets, a greater preference for thinness, and more dissatisfaction with life than those who simply enjoy exercise. And that's taken a long time for me to get there, a place where I enjoy exercise. I don't feel like I have to exercise to be happy in a day. A place where I don't feel that if I only run 3 miles, that's not enough exercise in a day. And finally, EDNOS, which was recently reclassified actually as OSFED. It's kind of the vacuous, mysterious eating disorder in the community. It's essentially any disordered behaviors are thrown into this. You know, if you don't have anything that falls under the other disorders, this is where you fall. And as I was looking on some of the eating disorder websites to get materials for this presentation, and I liked this quote. Eating disorders are not always black and white, and individuals can exhibit disordered eating patterns even if they don't meet the threshold for a full-blown diagnosis. And that's where I am. I don't meet the threshold for a full-blown diagnosis. I was never diagnosed. But obviously, I had a problem with food. I've included some information here. If something that I spoke about touches you, I encourage you to look it up online, because that's where I was. I didn't know that I was struggling. And I looked online, and I saw these women saying, oh, I get scared too about eating this food. Oh, I get scared too about not exercising today, and that's a problem. And I didn't realize it was a problem before that. So, if you feel like you're struggling with this as well, I included the hotline for eating disorders. Now, I want to take a moment just to address the audience here. What does my story have to do with you? I want us to change the way we talk about bodies. I want to suggest kind of a radical idea. Don't talk about other people's bodies. Not only should you not suggest to people that they lose weight, encourage people to lose weight, don't mention if people have lost weight. Except if you know specifically that they're trying to lose weight and that they are comfortable talking to you about it. Because it's a personal thing. And I don't think we should be talking about it unless we know that people are comfortable with it. Because weight loss is an option. There are ways to lose weight healthfully. But I want it to remain that, an option. I don't want to have to be told what I need to do with my body. So don't talk about people's bodies. And when you do, just be mindful that everybody has a different relationship with their body. That's why I came to this event here. Like hidden superheroes, what we've been talking about all day. People hide these relationships with their body. People hide their fear of food and exercise. People hide that, and you don't know who might be struggling with that. So don't talk about that with people who you don't know. Finally, I want to leave you with one thought. I'm a music performance major here at NIU. I play the cello. And if there's one thing I've learned since being in school here, it's that you need a couple different things to succeed. You need to be dedicated, and you need to love what you do. And if you love what you do, everything will be easier from there. And so that's why I'm coming here today. If you love your body, everything is easier from there. If you love the way you are, it'll make the rest of your life easier. I've learned to love myself. I'm still working on it. It's a hard process. I've had a lot of support from my friends, my family, my teachers, everyone here. And I finally feel like I'm getting support from the outside world as well. I saw the other day that Tess Holliday was signed to a major modeling agency. Now, if you don't know Tess Holliday, she's 5'5", a couple inches shorter than I am. She wears a size 22. She is not a traditional model. She's beautiful, not a traditional model. And she was just signed to a major modeling agency. So being able to be here and talk about this and see her and realize that if I love who I am, it'll make everything easier, that's made my life so much brighter. Thank you.